Hi, I hope this is a bit of interest for you. This is a video I'm making after having a little chat with one of the members, Greg. It's about the events that built up from the Imperial Cup, which was on this day in 2001. Today is, of course, the Imperial Cup, leading up to the Champion Hurdle in 2002, a year later. This is the Champion Hurdle of 2002. We're going to watch the video in a minute, and we'll look at the form afterwards. Now, I had seen something happen in the Imperial Cup in the previous March, which led me to believe that one of the runners was an absolute monster. I had him rated potentially 180 after that Imperial Cup, and I bet the horse from that day. Well, I started in April actually. I started in the flat season, and when I was betting cash mainly in shops every day, betting large amounts of cash, and whenever I did like a handicap snip special bet, a flat bet on a 6 furlong handicap or something, I was doing each way doubles, or if I had 2 or 3 selections on the same day on a Saturday, I would be doing Trixies and Lucky 15s, and not for small money, with the horse for the Champion Hurdle. And here's the race now. We're going to have a look at it, and hopefully you can see it. I've zoomed right in. Here we go.
It's Mr. Cool from Ansar, Gios and Landing Light on the near side, and they're very well grouped. Valiramix is...
They've just said the name of the horse, Valiramix. He's the big grey horse in the middle of the screen here, in yellow.
Close up, this Parig on the inner in the blue jacket, and then Bilboa as they race down towards the next.
I should say that the legendary Isterbrack was 2-1 favourite in this race. He was 10 years old, but unfortunately he hadn't been fit all year, and I told everybody he had absolutely no chance, and he was pulled up. He went lame. So Valiramix is 3-1 second favourite, and there's literally nothing in the race that could beat him. And there he is. There's Valiramix McCoy, this big grey horse, and he's absolutely cantering. You watch. There he is. He's absolutely motionless, McCoy. We'll have a look at the form from before the race in a little while, but this is for those of you who don't know what happened.
Landing Light, Valiramix, the big grey going strongly, and then Regal Exit from Mr. Parig and Bilboa and Marble Arch, and then Chimes at Midnight and Rostropovich. Very well grouped then in the 2002 Smurfit Champion Hurdle. There's going to be a new name on the trophy. It's Ansar that takes off first.
Yeah, it's going to be a new name on the trophy because Isterbrack, of course, had won the previous 3 renewals of the Champion Hurdle.
At that next flight.
And there is McCoy on Valiramix. At this point, I'm getting extremely excited. And I literally turned to my friend that we call Pete the Glue. We were sat watching it together. I literally turned to my mate at this point and punched him on the shoulder. And I said, Pete, this is going to piss up. And we'll see what happens.
As they go towards the top of the hill, Mr. Cool is under pressure on the inner. Gios is next then, All Our Penny Rich has been pulled up. Valiramix moves into a closing 4th or 5th as Landing Light is now under pressure.
So there we go. Here we go. We're in 4th place. Absolutely cruising. We're about to come down the hill. And when we look at the form later, we'll see that Valiramix, he must have known he was going to win the race, McCoy, because he'd run on his previous start. He'd run against this horse and beaten him 30 lengths. Oh, 30 lengths and given him £4 and in a hack canter.
From Mick Fitzgerald, Marble Arch has a chance on the outside, and then Bilboa, and they've kicked away from Regal Exit, Mr. Parig.
So they're coming down the hill.
Down towards the
They're coming to the third last, and McCoy takes a slight...
Waiting to pounce. Here's the third.
There he is there. McCoy. Now, he decides not to wait for the run up the inside. He tries to move across, and that is his undoing because, as the commentator says, he clips heels. Watch what happens.
From Gios, then on Lanois, Valiramix, the giant grey on the inside. Marble Arch is back in fifth place and landing like a...
And there you go. As he went to move from his inside berth across the track, he just clipped his front hoof on the back hoof of the horse in front of him, and there he is down on the deck. And sadly the horse breaks his shoulder and is destroyed. And I can tell you, I've never been so sick in my life. There you go, the commentator says he was absolutely cantering. And he would have, he would have destroyed this field. He'd already beaten this horse on the outside, who is All Lanois, goes on to win the race. He'd beaten him 30 lengths on their last meeting. There you go, and the commentator says he caught the heels of the horse in front. And as you see, All Lanois has left the rest of the field for dead. He goes on to win the race. And it's an absolutely sickening event, I can tell you. But anyway, let's just have a look at the form. Here we go. This is Valiramix's lifetime form. And, he starts, we forget his French flat form. But if you just look at his hurdle form, he wins his hurdling debut as a 4-year-old in February of 2000 by 21 lengths on his hurdling debut. They sent him to the Triumph, which was won by Snowdrop, and he was down the field. He then runs his next start about 3 weeks later at Chepstow, and he wins in a field of 13. He beats a horse called Rooster Booster, who was a future champion hurdle, by 5 lengths. Anyway, we come through to what the point of this video is about. It's about the Imperial Cup. Here it is, March 2001, the 10th of March 2001. It was run on heavy ground, 23 runners lined up, and this is the race of result. And after this race, I was convinced this horse was an absolute monster and that he was going to go right to the very top. And I had no doubt that he was going to be running in the champion hurdle. I didn't start betting him until the flat season, when I started having proper bets on handicaps on the flat. But here he is, Valiramix, 5 years old. He carried 12 stone. 12 stone. I remember the race. It was brutal. It was an absolute slogfest. And the winner carried 9 stone 9 pound, with a jockey claiming, Ben Hitchcock claiming £5. So Valiramix was giving him £33. Finishes second of 23. He had Rooster Booster, who was getting £5, 2.5 lengths behind. And Rooster Booster was running to a mark of 158 that day. And RPR rated Valiramix 165. I actually upgraded that. I thought, well, if that had been less testing ground, he probably would have won the race. So I would have upgraded him I did upgrade him by 15 points. I had a little system at the time where I upgrade people for various things, and there was a 15-point upgrade. So I would have made him a 180 horse. That is why, and it's why I got so mad into him for the champion hurdle. And then Christmas came in early in December, because early in December, was it the 19th of December? Was it really the 19th of December? He has the summer off. He runs at Sandown after they avoid Cheltenham. They run in the Imperial Cup. They don't go to Cheltenham. They run in a Grade 1 at Sandown in April. He runs okay, comes third, beating 3 1/4 lengths. But come December, they bring him out and they run him in the Beulah Hurdle at Newbury, Grade 2. I think the race had been switched from Cheltenham. I think it's normally run at Cheltenham, but they ran it at Newbury, and this is what happened. It was only a 4-runner race, but here's Valiramix. He's having his seasonal debut. He's still only 5 years old. He's giving £4 to the field. And here in third place, beaten 34 lengths, is a certain horse in receipt of £4 called All La Loi, who goes on to win the champion hurdle that we've just seen. And Valiramix, keen hold early, always going well, challenged from 3 out until led soon after the next. And then at the time, in 2001, the in-running comment from the Sporting Life, which I was using at the time, said, "Drew clear after last, hard held." And he got an RPR of 170 for that. And I, again, with the hard held, I then upgraded him by 15 points to 185. So this had then confirmed that he was an absolute monster. And I was already, every time I was having a bet, I was putting a double and a treble, and I started increasing it. And if I had a winning day on a Saturday, from then until March, say I had like a nice day like I had with the Lanzarote the other week, I was taking half the winnings and piling it on. You know, it was about 9-2 at this point, something like that. The only danger on paper was Isterbrack, but he was 10 and going for a fourth. I had him a stone clear. I had him at least a stone clear of the field, Valiramix, based on this run. I did try to find a video of this race, the Beulah Hurdle, but I couldn't find one. But there you go. That's the story. And it's so sad. And the horse is one of the biggest losses to National Hunt Racing. If he'd have come, you know, if he lives and survives, he's just won the champion hurdle by 15 lengths or something. And the sky was the limit. As I say, I had word from the pipe yard that they were going to go straight for the Gold Cup the following year. And he could have won any number of races. Such a sad story. And for Mr. Whedon, even more sad, because it was the apple of his eye. And the horse was about 18 hands. He was an absolute giant, and he moved like a ballet dancer. And not so many people know about it, because a lot of people are young, you know, they're under 30, and this is 21 years ago, 20 years ago, the champion hurdle. And what could have been. There you go, just a bit of an additional content. If you can find a video of this race, the Beulah Hurdle, and see how he canters clear. He's not even cantering. He's literally trotting. Anyway, great stuff. Valiramix. Rest in peace.